Welcome back to the BookEnds YouTube channel. I'm James McGowan.
Hi, I'm Jessica Faust.
We are literary agents who have taken our popular blog to YouTube to discuss all things publishing. And today we are talking about querying and querying strategy. So often authors will ask us about exclusive submissions and when should I send this to just one agent? What is an exclusive submission? How do we do? So we thought we would break it all down. We would break down what simultaneous submissions are, break down what exclusive submissions are, how to handle those, when to do them, when not to do them, the whole 9 yards.
This is fun because exclusive submissions has been a soapbox pet peeve of mine for years.
I think
Let's hit it.
I think if you scroll back on the YouTube channel, back to when our camera quality was awful and we had sheets up on the walls, you will find a video of
it was like one of my first.
It was one, exactly. So yes, historically, this has irked Jessica.
I have gotten into fights on panels at conferences about this topic.
Most querying is simultaneous. What simultaneous querying means is that you are sending to multiple agents at one time. You have a list of agents that you would like to see your work. When you send out that first query, it's likely going out to 10, 15 people at a time, right? Yeah. Individually, you're not BCCing them, you're not sending it on one big group email, but you are sending to a manageable number of agents to consider your work at a single time.
This is expected.
Yes.
And I do not believe you need to tell people this is a simultaneous submission. I expect that every query and every submission I get is also being seen by other agents.
So the reason why is it's beneficial to you, right? So it is giving you a vast playing field of editors and agents that you can potentially work with on this book for your career or whatever. If you are only querying one agent, then you don't get the conversations. You don't get the ability to shop around, really, which is what you're doing. You're hiring a business partner. You need to find the best business partner that you can. Simultaneous querying just means that you are going to multiple people. Everybody is considering the work at the same time. Now, when you receive an offer of representation, the ball is back in your court. You alert the folks that you would like to work with. You have all of those conversations. This is the standard path of querying.
Yeah, so, for anybody who's already been down this road, it's a slow process. You're asking for people to read your query, which takes some time. Then you're asking them to read a submission. There's no reason not to do simultaneous. You want to get people moving as fast as possible. And the truth is, for the most part, when agents query or pitch editors our own projects, we pitch simultaneously. We are also not sort of putting all the power into one person's hands. By pitching simultaneously, you as the author still have some control, which is, I guess, what's going to lead to exclusive submissions, right?
Well, first, let's just talk about the timing of it, right? So when you are simultaneously submitting, you're submitting, like we said, to multiple people at a time. So yeah, I guess it kind of does lead into exclusives. When you're submitting exclusively, you're now sending to one agent and waiting for that one agent to respond to you before you can send to the next agent. So you're taking what could be maybe a 6-month process, you're turning that into what could be several years of a process if you're going one by one. So let's talk about...
Oh, go on.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, because I can't stop myself.
Okay, go ahead.
So on occasion, I have gotten something from an author telling me that it's an exclusive, that they have chosen to submit to me exclusively. If I see that, I will contact them back and say, please don't. Please, simultaneously submit, watch this video, read this blog. But there are agents out there who will request an exclusive, and this just kills me. So I'm going to tell my story. So I was on a panel many years ago with an agent who at the time, well, still, I guess, had been agenting for longer than me. So more experienced, right? And the conversation came up about exclusive submissions. And this particular agent stated that you needed to submit to her exclusively. I said that I am absolutely against exclusive submissions, that the problem with exclusive submissions, not just that it's going to take that much longer. If you get an offer of representation from an exclusive submission, you have no power. And we've discussed offers of representation, but the idea is when you get an offer of representation, you are able to call every agent who's considering your book and say, hey, I have an offer. Are you interested? And hopefully you're going to have 2 or 3 conversations with different agents and be able to choose the agent who's right for you. With an exclusive submission, you have 2 choices. You either accept the offer of representation or you don't. And that's a scary situation, but also unfair because the agent still holds all the power and you're the one paying the agent.
But what I also want to say too is like, even if you know you want to work with that agent, like
Yeah.
even if you are absolutely 100% certain that's the agent for me, you still shouldn't do it because
Exactly.
you have no idea. You have no idea. You can get on the phone with this person. They can hate your book. They can have a completely different vision. You can hate their vision. They could steamroll you. They could not let you talk. It could be intentional. It could not be intentional. It could just be their personality. You don't know. What you know about an agent is very rarely based off of this conversation. Very rarely.
Yeah.
So what you're going off of is a persona portrayed to get you to want to work with us. Really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, they have an impressive list. I want to work with them. All of these things that doesn't mean that they're going to work well with you. I mean, they could represent your best friend. They could represent your sister. It doesn't mean they're the right agent for you.
Yep, it's true.
So anyway, so on this panel, I went on that rant that I just went on.
Right.
And because I do think this story is important. And the other agent said, I disagree because if you get an offer of representation from a bigger agent, you're going to go with them and I've wasted my time. And I thought, this has nothing to do with the author. This agent doesn't care about the author. This agent only cares on exactly what I said, on making sure that that person can't say no.
Yeah,
and that
it just comes from their own insecurity too. Like, and we say it all the time. I believe we say it on the channel. An agent doesn't have to love competition, but they have to be comfortable with it. They have to be able to be competitive for an author that they would like to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, I think pretty much every BookEnds offer call, if the author sort of asks, we always encourage, yes. Talk to the other agents who have your work. Let's get back in touch. Let's have another call. I can answer any questions. I don't want to work with somebody who's not comfortable with me or who doesn't want to work with me or who doesn't feel I'm the best agent for them.
Yeah, or who's not confident in signing. Don't sign that agreement unless you're confident in signing that agreement.
Yeah. Can we talk about, after my rant, that there is an exception to exclusives?
Yeah, are you done
with my rant?
Are you done?
I'm done with my rant.
Okay, yes. So there is an exception to when we would say go for an exclusive, but I also think kind of and kind of not, right? Like the reason why, if an agent asks for revisions, what's called an R&R, revise and resubmit, oftentimes those are done on an exclusive basis. And the reason why is that agent has put time and energy into giving you some revision notes that you're then working on. So can
I clarify something quick though?
Yes.
A revise and resubmit is different than mention in the rejection letter, feel free to resubmit.
Right.
A revise and resubmit usually involves a phone call or extensive notes with details on what they would like to see if you're willing and open to doing it.
Yes, I would say these are probably rarer than the alternative.
Very rare.
Well, the reason why I say it's kind of exclusive and kind of not exclusive is because what you would then do is send the revisions exclusively to that agent. Right. You could still query the original novel. You could still have all your queries out there. There is no need for you to pull your submission from others considering in order to do this revision. When you send the revision, you should wait. This is what makes it exclusive. Don't send that revision to everybody else. Right. Give them an exclusive time period. Usually we would say 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely set a time period.
Yes, don't give them this sort of never-ending exclusive because it can happen. It can go on for months. If you give them that 2 to 3 week time period of exclusivity, then they have to read it and get back to you by then. Yeah. And that is still, now, like Jessica said before, exclusives do limit your power, but you have the power because you have the time when you're like, all right, well, you can have it. But then after this, if I don't hear from you, it's going elsewhere.
And don't be afraid to follow up. 2 weeks is up. Don't be afraid to follow up with an email. Hey, I know you're still considering. I am still very much interested in hearing from you, but since our exclusive period is up, I am going to send this to the other agents who have expressed interest in my book.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to send that.
Right. And I would say that's probably one of the only times I would say, all right, go for an exclusive.
Only time.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head on why you would do it otherwise. So those are the differences between simultaneous and exclusive. We've got Jessica all riled up and now she has to go finish a work day. But we hope this was helpful. So simultaneous, remember, you are going to multiple agents at a time. Exclusive, we don't suggest you do this except for a revise and resubmit that has been requested by the agent. Yeah, we hope that's helpful. Don't forget to like.
Happy querying.
Happy querying, and we'll see you back here next time.
Bye.